Welcome to a brief overview of the Energy4Schools website and portal. With government targets for CO2 emissions, schools are increasingly mindful of their energy consumption and its financial and environmental aspects. Using the Energy4Schools website and portal, you can see when and where your energy is being spent across energy sources, and you're able to zoom in on time periods, drill into specific locations, and, in summary, you can see when and where your CO2 emissions are being generated and how energy is being consumed. In essence, this view is providing the head teacher with very powerful management information, both at a summary level and the ability to drill down and really identify where energy is being spent for future comparison and actioning. So let's use the solution now to see its power, and we'll take a journey through certain locations within the school to specific apply points of energy types, even down to meter level. But for now, it's worth just mentioning that this stacked bar graph here is clarified by the legend up here, which shows you which energy types you're using, and this bright red tracks the emissions, so you can see that also very clearly. But let's start by narrowing the date range down, and this is just an example of how to make something very relevant to you and for your ability and power to drill into useful data. So I've just narrowed that down now, and I'll look at all three, and the data is re-rendered for me. I'll now perhaps try something a little more interesting. What I'll do is I'll narrow that down even further to, for instance, a specific week, and I can take that even down to half-hourly data. So let's try that just for electricity. Hopefully then you can see the power of identifying data down to this level and actually being able then to understand how your initiatives really have or haven't made any impact. Back at the home screen then, it's worth just explaining the table below, which provides summary data for the graph shown, and everything can be drilled down into. In this case, any of the figures shown, or even the locations within the school. So let's try doing that. Again, we're now seeing the relevant data, and we can see within that data where further we can drill down. And perhaps in this instance, I'll drill down on this figure, the electricity for the main building electricity supply. So hopefully you can see the power then of this tool and how it enables you to track and manage your energy consumption and your emissions. The portal goes much further than this though, and if we click on the Performance tab, here we have a screen that's primarily devised to achieve two purposes. Firstly, to allow you to compare against certain criteria, in this case degree days, numbers of pupils, square meters and what have you, such that your energy consumption and your emissions can be compared against those metrics. In this case, if we select pupils and square meters, we can see our energy consumption across time against those key metrics, and the table below here supports that. As you can see here now, our performance against this number of kilowatt hours per this number of students per square meter gives us a figure, and these can be played with. Similarly though, we can have a look at degree days, and this provides us an analysis of your energy usage against degree days and is an indication of heating efficiency. For water, you would typically be invoiced maybe quarterly or every 6 months. That certainly doesn't provide enough granularity of data to help you monitor and improve your consumption. So allowing you to see the difference made with more readings input from you is very useful. Energy4Schools also use this portal as a means to supply you any documents that they may have in terms of reports, and that's provided electronically so as not to be wasteful of paper. The reference tab here is a library of really useful documentation pulled together for you by the Energy4Schools team with permission of the Carbon Trust so that they can share their material with you without you having to search. Examples might be smart metering information, emissions information, and what have you. The Finance tab is extremely useful. You'll have a budget for your energy, but you don't ever get to see the breakdown, making it difficult for you to see the effects of your initiatives. This screen puts feedback and control back in your hands, giving you the transparency needed to help you manage your energy costs and your emissions more effectively, especially around your budget. Part of the Energy for Schools service is that your energy is purchased and managed for you, meaning that you can budget and you pay known amounts rather than suffering variation. So in effect, you are insulated from energy usage and price fluctuations throughout the year. This system gives you the real data, provides you consolidated energy costs served up to you through a simple portal. The data entry screen is a good indication of where the system can be used for students. Energy4Schools are working with the energy suppliers to supply you automatic meters to automate feeding of data. However, you can still enter manually. In this tree view, we can see that Middle Lane Primary School, main building water supply, the main school water meter, and we can go in here and actually submit a reading. Schools have an obligation to raise awareness of environmental issues, so allowing teachers and students to get involved with their school's energy use and its management is a useful tool, and that comes with the Energy4Schools web portal. Here we see a slightly cut down view of the functionality that the head teacher had, and most importantly, we have this tab, Manage Projects. And in here, a teacher can set up certain projects which they can use to involve students in the recording of meter readings and inputting and tracking. In summary then, the Energy4Schools website and portal provides you a means to track your CO2 emissions against government targets to see when and where your energy is being spent and where your CO2 emissions are being generated, raising awareness and improving your ability to control your energy use and your emissions, hopefully affecting behaviour positively, saving money and reducing your emissions.